Alrighty. What's up, everybody? It is your tribal god of extreme, Peter Joseph here. With a bad foot. But I'm still here for a Thursday night video, because it is officially now dark here in the Northeast. So, Thursday night video, May the 14th, 2026. Thank you all for watching right here on the official Peter Joseph YouTube wrestling channel. YouTube.com/Peter Joseph. Make sure you like the video, hit the subscribe button down below in my pants, otherwise known as the description box below. Share the video all over the internet. And don't forget to leave a comment on this video if you want. You don't have to. If you want to, leave a comment on this video or any one of my videos from the past, the present, and the future Conan on my respective channels. But please do not leave stupid comments. You will get sent to the Shadow Realm, beaten unmercifully. And then Ozzy and Satan will come out and eat your soul. That's the way it is. Gonna act like a bitch, you're gonna get treated as such. And that's that. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And don't forget to share the video all over the internet, like I said before. And, most importantly, tap and slap that bell. You know how to treat it. Slap it around. Slap that baby around. And hit and put on all notifications so you don't miss the next one. Because if you miss anything, you need to get slapped violently because you're SOL. You know what that means. You know. And that's that. So, like, share, subscribe, and all that good shit. Then we move on. But for our newbies out there, if you're coming to my channel for the very first time, well, welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. And when you do subscribe to my channels, sit back, relax. You grab that tasty cold one, which is right next to me. Not off camera, it's right next to me. But you grab yourself your own tasty cold one from the fridge or wherever you have it. Sit back, relax, put your stinky feet up, and enjoy the show. You like it? Great. You don't? Go watch somebody else. But most of you will stay with me because you got nothing else to do on a Thursday night. I mean, some of you might. And if you do it. That's pretty much it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you had a great Thursday. Kind of overcast early today. And then the sun came out. Got warm. Felt good. Because when you look good, you feel good. That's the commercial. So, pretty nice end to the day. Getting ready for tonight. Gonna be some good stuff. We got TNA Impact Wrestling live from Sacramento tonight. It's gonna be a great show. And pretty much the main, well, we know the prophecies on the show. Rosemary and Allie will be in action against, well, my girl Mila Moore and Alicia Fox with Tessa Blanchard somewhere in the building. Gonna get destroyed. We'll see what happens with that. But I hope this is the main event. Cedric Alexander of the System versus Leon Slater for the X Division title in a 2 out of 3 falls match. And if Leon wins the match, he becomes the longest reigning X Division champion in company history. Will we do it? Maybe, but I don't think so. I think we're going to get a new X Division champion in Cedric Alexander, and he will join up with Brian Myers and Mophead Bear Bronson as they have the tag team championships, and Eddie Edwards are, well, beltless right now. And we'll find out what happened to Moose, as last week he got attacked by most likely the System. So we'll see what happens with that tonight on your 2-hour Cure for Insomnia on AMC, and that's Impact Wrestling. Yep. We'll see what happens with that. But I hope you had a great day, ladies and gentlemen. If you didn't, well, too fucking bad. And that's that. Like I said, I hurt my foot last night, and this morning it hurt a lot. And I had to go to physical therapy today, not on my foot, but on my leg. And I'm in pain, man. I came home, and I could barely get home, almost, because I could barely walk on my left foot. It hurts like hell. Like that great song by New Year's Day. Hurts like hell. I didn't know hell could hurt, but it does. Right, Satan? That's right. Hell is very fiery. We're gonna kick your ass. Satan Almighty. Okay, calm down. Sorry. But yeah, hell does hurt. Just saying. Some of you might go there, because you deserve to go there. And that's pretty much it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, really quickly, before we get to Impact, it is time, as the title below says, on your on your Thursday night, right here on the Peter Joseph channel. I'm Peter Joseph, your gracious host. I am a content creator talking about the wonderful world of professional wrestling, the sport of professional wrestling. And if you don't like wrestling, fuck you, man. And that's pretty much it. Because you watch gay porn, but I digress on that. Some of you do, because that's what you are. I don't watch that shit. I watch Asian porn, but it's, great. That's that. But on your Thursday night, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for your official WWE NXT review for this past Tuesday night, May the 12th, 2026. And as always, we are emanating from the parking lot in Nickelodeon Studios inside the Capitol Wrestling Center in Orlando, Florida. Alright, and as always, our commentary team every Tuesday night. The man with the creepy jacket, he loves the kids, he loves his candy, and that's Vic Joseph and his broadcast partner, his color commentator, man who sits right next to him, the Kool-Aid man himself, the man who sims for every fucking woman on the women's roster, the two-time Hall of Famer, you know him, you love him, you can't get enough of him, the master of the spinneroonie, and that's this guy, Booker T, sucker! Oh yeah, man! Okay, calm down, Booker T, bastard. And that's pretty much it. Excuse me, that's pretty much it for that. Alright, so, this past Tuesday night, I thought it was a pretty, not bad show. You know, the rookies are invading the asylum, if you will. And we'll see what happens with that for pretty much week 3 of the Evolve WWE ID UK invasion. So see, more newbies will come up. We got a return of a former UK Heritage Champion in Norm Dar. He's going to be taking on a newbie. We'll get to that in a little bit. Alright. Let's get into it. And, that's that. Alright, so we see people coming into the parking lot. You know, Tony D, my cousin. We'll talk to my cousin a little bit. Kiana Carver. We have the in-ring debut of Evil, or now his new name, Naraku. No, not Naruto, Naraku. Not Otaku, but Naraku. So we're going to see him in action. And that's that. But we start off NXT with a tag team match player. And no, not made by not made by Mr. Teddy Long, but it was made by Robert Stone, the GM. Alright, so we got the Women's North American Champion, Tatum Paxley, teaming up with the Rocker Chick, Lizzie Rain. They take on Nikita Lyons. She got some mighty, mighty big thighs. So, Nikita Lyons and Delta, otherwise known as Zarya. And if Zarya was not gonna take this match, you don't get no title shot. So this was a pretty match to start, under 9.5 minutes. I'm gonna paraphrase a little bit. But it was a decent match. Back and forth they went. Before we go to break, Lizzie Rain and Tatum hit stereo drop kicks through the ropes. Then they pose, they do a little, you know, because Lizzie Rain is the daughter of Clyde Burton from the now Hall of Famers Iron Maiden. I'm so happy for Iron Maiden finally getting into the Hall of Fame. Took them long enough for the Rock and Roll Hall of Shame to actually put them in. Put jerk-offs like LL Cool J in. I'm just saying. I mean, Wu-Tang is there. I'm fine with that, even though they're not rock and roll, but... I came to bring the pain all day to the brain. Come inside my ass brain. Oh, baby, I like it raw. That's the... Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with. Yeah. We pretty much get all that. And move on. Alright, so we go to break, come back. Lizzie Rain fights out of a 1905 chinlock, gets caught in a tiger bomb for an air fall. Delta misses a charge, and back to Lizzie Rain to make the comeback. Nikita Lyons punches her down, and then somehow she gets the hot tag to the Women's North American Champion, Taina Paxley. Goes for Cemetery Drive, gets reversed into a spin kick to head. Ow. And that's enough for Nikita Lyons to get over to the rope, and looked like she was about to tag in Delta, maybe to finish him off, and Delta's like, nope, fuck you, bitch, pretty much. And then Nikita's like, what are you doing? So I was like, I don't need a team with you, I'm out of here. So, that distraction let Lizzie Rain get up, and she gets ready for her epic finisher. She hits her finisher called Thunderstruck! If you follow AC/DC, Thunderstruck, 1, 2, 3, that's step up, knee to head. Love that finisher. 1, 2, 3, Lizzie Rain and Tatum Paxley get the win in under 9.5 minutes. Match is alright, 2.25 out of 5 stars. And that's it. And we're off and running on NXT, my friends. Alright, that's it. Alright, we're in the back in the women's locker room. We have Kendall Gray. She insists that her bestie and my girl, Maddie Rankowski, Ren Sinclair, who is on crutches because she has an ankle injury, says, you're not a distraction to me. I want you to be out there with me as I take on Keilani Jordan, despite your injury. And then the NXT Women's Champion and one half of the Mixed Tag Team Champions with Mr. Iguana, and that's Lola Sissy. Oh, yes! Caliente. Poppy Priest's hot girlfriend, you bastard. Should have been me. Yeah. Alright, so Lola Vice comes in. Kendall gets up, ready to show her that wrestling is better than the MMA. Well, it kind of is, but, don't say that to Ronda Rousey. You might get your arm broken, but I digress on that. So, they get in each other's face, tempers flare. And Lola's got challengers, Kendall Gray, Kaylee Armstrong, Izzy Dame. I mean, so many women want Lola Vice and that women's what's that North American song? That women's NXT title. So we'll see what happens with that. Alright, I give that segment 2.25 out of 5 stars. Alright, back to the ring we go with Evil's little debut, Naraku's debut, takes on, the guy from Triple R, and that's Lindsay Dorado ese. And, this was a decent match for 4.5 minutes. Back and forth they went. Lindsay Dorado gets up, hits a golden rewind. Is that the same thing as a golden ratio? Not, I guess, I don't know. Then gets caught in a release fisherman suplex. Then Evil picks him up, hits his finisher. We all know if you watch New Japan Pro Wrestling, he won the IWGP World Title with this move. The Abyss. Actually, he calls this Everything is Evil, but now it's called the Abyss. No, not Abyss. Black Hole Slam Abyss. But he hits the Abyss, the STO, Everything is Evil finisher. 1, 2, 3. Naraku gets his first win in NXT in just about 4.5 minutes. And that's pretty much it. Match was alright. 2.5 out of 5 stars. And then after the match, Evil goes up to the camera and says, I am pure evil. Well, he he might have a date with my cousin, Tony D'Angelo, coming up pretty soon. But my cousin, he's got other commitments too, you know. Connor Carver, Cam Hendricks, or Anthony Luke. A lot of people want that title. And we move on with that. Alright, then we go to the men's locker room. Well, we have Eli. No, not Eli. We have E.K. Prosper, or used to be Eli Knight. But now it changed his name to E.K. Prosper because the confusion with LA Knight. So E.K. Prosper is glad to have Sean Legacy from Evolve and newcomer Tate Wilder from the WWE from Evolve. We saw him on LFG. Now he's on the main roster. That's pretty good for him. So we got a 6-man tag team match coming up with them taking on Birthmark of Charlie Dempsey, Uriah Connors, and Stacks Mahomes. Tate Wilder's still trying to find his spot in NXT. My spot, dog spot, neighbor spot, but my spot. Well, he's trying to find that spot. And then another newcomer, we've seen him in the Speed Tournament. He took on E.K. Prosper in a pretty good match. Dorian Van Duck's DVD. He comes in. He's all ready to go. So, this Evolve WWE ID program / UK invasion is giving us a lot of people that, you know, we don't know who they are, but we're kind of getting a little bit of backstory with them, which I think is nice. So, NXT is kind of turning into NXT 3.0, if you think about it. Because all the big stars are gone. Soruka, gone. Oba, gone. JC Jane and Fatal Influence, gone. Blake Monroe, gone. And we got more NXT call-ups coming up pretty soon. Who? Don't know. Maybe my cousin goes up. I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. Alright, so I get that 2.5 out of 5 stars. Alright, then we see a video of Natalya. I think she was doing a promo for LFG early in the day, and she got interrupted by Jada Parker, Miss Parker, who also interrupted Natalya on Busted Open Radio today. This feud is gonna get intense because Natty called Jada soft. S-A-W-F-T, soft. So they get into it again. They got into it today. I think over the phone, not at Busted Open Radio in New York, but or whatever they emanate from. But yeah, so the Jada Parker Natty feud continues. We'll see what happens next time. That's that. Alright, then we go to the 6-man tag team match. E.K. Prosper, Tate Wilder, Sean Legacy taking on Uriah Connors, Stacks Mahomes, who had his hot wife, the former TNA Knockouts champion, Under Grace, barely wearing anything, god damn. And Mr. Ego's son, Charlie Dempsey, at ringside. Back and forth match, and then getting to the end, Prosper makes the save after a beautiful butterfly superplex. We got a big old NXT chant. Tate Wilder comes in, hits a TKO for an air fall. Stacks make the save, and then Wilder goes on a humongous run. Big money flippy dippity do. And Sean Legacy's like, tag me in, brother! Come on, I want to get my stuff in too! No, Tate Wilder's like, nope, I'm gonna go up top, hit a semi-decent Eddie Guerrero frog splash. What you think about that one, Eddie? It was okay. It wasn't great. That cowboy, I didn't really like it that much. He's doing too much, Jesse. Yeah, pretty much. Because he kept doing everything, and then Sean Legacy and E.K. Prosper were like, what are you doing? I know Tate Wilder, he was trying to get the spotlight, but you're doing too much, dude. You have two partners who can come in and do their signature moves or finishers and try to get the win, but you're doing it all by yourself, and boy, did Tate Wilder pay for his crime. He won't tag out. He goes for the wild ride, the moonsault. No water in the pool for you, sir. And then Stacks and Uriah Connors hit basically a pair of running boots. It almost felt like DIYs meet in the middle. But it was like drop kicks almost. But anyway, they hit that. Going for the pin on Tate Wilder. 1, 2, 3 in just under 13 minutes. Birthright get the win. And Tate Wilder, you look stupid. Next time, don't make it all about yourself. You have other partners. So, lesson learned for Tate Wilder. And that's pretty much it. Ugh, I am a mess today. I am in pain. Pain. Prediction. Pain. Yeah, that's my prescription. I got a fever, and the only prescription is more cowbell. Gotta have more cowbell. Alright, we got that. Alright, there we see Tatum Paxley and Lizzie Dame in the back. They were happy with their win earlier against Delta and Tequila Leons. And Tatum Paxley's so happy with the win, she's giving Lizzie Rain a Women's North American title shot next week. Wow. She's been almost in the company, 3 weeks now? About to be almost a month, and she's getting a title shot? Can you say possibly winning it? Maybe. Anyway, my boy Shiloh Hill comes in, says that he's been researching about another newcomer. We saw him about 2 weeks ago, making his, not his in-ring debut, but his actual NXT debut. And that's my boy Tristan Angels, who follows me on Twitter. Same thing with Shiloh. You should too. Link down below. And speaking of Tristan Angels, he comes in, doesn't really like Shiloh, suggesting that he could outclass him. I think Shiloh was talking about, it's like, oh, you couldn't shave a sheep or some shit like that. Shiloh, I think you should watch his backstory, dude. I'm just saying. Like, he took a sheep and went, I'm like, holy shit, poor sheep. Bah! You know? But Tristan Angels, the lead singer of The Darkness, and he knows it. I actually told him that I tweeted him at Tristan Angels, whatever his handle is. I tweeted him, I said, dude, you look like the lead singer of The Darkness. And he retweeted me. And followed me. It was amazing. Gotta do the chop on that one for that one. And yes, it's actually his real account. No fake account. It's amazing how all the wrestlers come, sometimes they'll like it, they'll like one of your tweets every once in a while, then out of the blue, they just come out and follow you. Because you're great, and you're supporting them. Casey Navarro follows me. We all know Rosemary follows me. Gotta get Allie to follow me. It's good. It's good. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I got more. I can get more if I want. Big Foley actually followed me. I don't know if anymore, but... Mick, why don't you follow me on Twitter? I don't know, that's a stupid freaking thing won't let me. I gotta eat my Doritos. They're very tasty. I know. They're tasty. I got sour cream and onion, chips. They're tasty, too. But you got any Doritos? Yeah, I gotta look in the pantry. If not, ask Rip Wreck, they're getting them. Okay, I'm gonna ask him later. You go have a good show. Have a nice day. Well, it's nighttime now. Have a nice night then. Okay, bye. Bye, Mick. Say hello to Mikey Rip Wreck for me. Did you say my name? No, I said Mike Whipwreck, not you, Mikey. I beat his ass anyway. I thought you were talking about me. How you doing, Mike? I'm doing okay. How you doing? I heard you hurt your foot. What happened? I I don't know. I just woke up. I don't know. My foot's been bothering me. My legs are killing me. I'm a mess. I'm old, Mike. I'm old. Yeah, you may be old, but you're wise and you're great because you're my best friend and I care about you. I know, Mike. Thank you. Thank you for the support. You're gonna get better, and then you're gonna beat all those trolls, and you're gonna put them through freaking flaming tables. Because you're awesome, Mr. Joseph. I know. Thank you, Mike. Thank you. Got anything else to say before Impact comes on? No, I'm gonna go back to the bar. I'm gonna drink my sorrows away with Jerome. How's Jerome doing, by the way? He's being an ass as always. Yeah, what do you want to do? All right, you tell Jerome to be cool. Alright, I'll tell him to be good, but if he gets out of control, I'm gonna shove the scythe up his ass and then put him through a glass table. Okay, you do that. Say goodbye. Bye! Okay. Hey, if you don't like my impressions, fuck you, man. Brings life to the show. And I'm not talking to myself. Whether you like it or not. Alright, so, yeah, Tristan Angels comes in, doesn't like Shiloh suggesting he could outclass him. So we got a match next week with them. That should be fun. Shiloh versus the in-ring debut of Tristan Angels. Fun. And then also next week we got Lizzie Rain going after Tatum Paxley's Women's North America title. Excuse me. Got some good shit next week. And that's that. Alright, after that, we got the Cuckling, Izzy Dame, Bookie Hogan 2.0, Nico, and Sean Spears. They're all talking in a dark room. They want to get rid of some people. I assume Lola Vice. Izzy Dame's like, well, I'm going to focus on Lola Vice. You and Nico could get rid of Benjamin Button's guys. The Varsity Project, Red Baylor, and Vicky Smokes. So, we'll see what the Cuckling can do. And that's pretty much it. Alright, then we go to the ring. We got Robbie E. He has a contract in his hand, and that's gonna go to this guy, Mason Rook. Big fat man. We saw him a couple weeks ago taking out my cousin, Tony D. He's big. He's bad. He body slam your dad. He will. The guy is getting over. He's like damn, he's getting Oba level freaking praise. I mean, pop and shit. Fans love him. So, Mason Rook comes out, talks about turning heads around the world, including getting John Cena's attention. He's big. He's bad. He'll body slam your dad. And that's not enough for him. He wants more. Because he's about to crush people, but then my cousin, Tony D'Angelo... Cuz, you coming out? Okay, come on. Go back to doing your thing. My legit cousin, Tony D'Angelo, the NXT World Champ, gets me some chicken parmesan for $2. You get it for $10.50, bitch. So anyway, my cousin comes out to interrupt. He says, I'm not overlooking you. I'm paying attention. You got my attention. And then as he's talking, Cam Hendricks, Anthony Luke from LFG, who I'm hearing that Maxine is kind of getting it on with Austin Theory. Have you noticed that every now on Raw that she was in the car? I wonder where they're going. Back to the hotel? The fuck, probably. Who knows? But yeah, we haven't seen Maxine on in a match in a while. Well, we've seen her on Raw. The last 2 weeks. She's with Tozawa and Otis or Otis, and now she's in the back sometimes, hanging out with Austin Theory, doing whatever. They're fucking. But I digress on that. Anyway, so Anthony Luke comes out, jumps my cousin from behind, you bastard. And then Mason Rook goes up top, hits a big moonsault onto everybody. Though he dove, and I'm like, catch the guy! And he almost fell on his fucking ass. And it could have been way worse than it looked. That's bad for the security guards. They're gonna get fired. Alright, then he gets in the ring, takes the contract from Robbie E, signs the contract, so now he's officially on the NXT roster. And the fans are just going berserk. He's big! He's bad! He'll body slam your dad! You know, not about a hat. I mean, what hat? Where you get that? Alright, so that was good. That was good. So, like I said, another challenger for Tony D. Kiana Carver, Mason Rook, Cam Hendricks. We'll see what happens with that. Let me move on. Alright, then another newcomer. We saw him last week. That's Romeo Moreno from Spain. He's on Evolve as well. And he was hanging out with this guy, the former Heritage Cup champion, Noam Dar, who re-debuted last week. And Noam Dar is going to take on Jackson Drake of the Varsity Project. So, Romeo praises Noam Dar's abilities as Noam is getting ready for his match. I thought he was going to come out and, like, help him and stuff, or just be there. But, no, he's just there in the background. I'm a painter. What are you going to paint? I'm going to paint myself in Technicolor. I don't know. Anyway, we got that. Alright, then, another newbie, new correspondent, if you will, Emily, almost said Asgard, Emily Agard, we call her Asgard, Emily Agard. We saw her last week, talk to Kiana Carver, and, well, it wasn't a great first day for her, as Kiana basically, like, didn't put her down. It's like, why are you taping me? And then they're like, okay, we'll put the camera down, but it's still taping. And Kiana's like, yeah, I know you're still taping, morons. But, you know, he talked about a little bit about Evil's box, you know, the lettering, like, means war. Talks about, I never went to class, but I listened to stuff like that. It was nice. So now it seems like Emily Agar is getting backstories. So this week, she goes to OTM's house. I think it's Bronco Nima's house. They're having a cookout. And they have some hot dogs. Burnt hot dogs, probably. And we see Lucian Price's brother, JJ. I think his name is JJ. And he cuts a mean promo! What? Sign this guy! Guy has to be like, what, 14? Sign him, he's great! Does a better promo than William Yuta. So anyway, Lucian Price and his brother had to work to get here, and both know how to put in the effort. Apparently, Bronco Nima plans things out, and is also quite the artiste. That's pretty much it. And then they eat hot dogs. And that's that. Alright, I gotta change to AMC. Bowser! Alright, Enemy of the State's just about to finish. With Will Smith, that schmuck. Oh, little kitty. Little kitty. And we get that. So where was I? Yeah, so these little vignettes, interviews are actually a really good idea to let the fans know who these people are. Kind of get a little backstory about them. I think it's great. And Emily Agard. Top-notch beauty. With a booty. There you go. Let me move on. Alright, then we get to Jackson Drake with Brad Baylor and Ricky Smokes, the tag team champs. They come out, so Jackson Drake takes on Noam Dar in his return to NXT. Decent match. Well, actually a pretty good match for almost 10.5 minutes. And we get to the end. They go to a pinfall reverse sequence. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And so Noam Dar gets a near fall off a European clutch. They get back up, they trade forearms until Noam Dar kicks him in the ribs, ow, to break up a handspring. And then Bailey Humphries, we all know her now as Micah Lockwood, who's kind of like the muscle of the Vanity Project. or like China, you know. She comes out, also distraction, and look like Noam Dar is gonna like beat her up. Like, that's not a good idea. And then Jackson Drake gets in a kick to face, then goes up top, hits the 450 on Noam Dar. 1, 2, 3 to get the win in under 10.5 minutes, and that's that. All right, Teenage is starting with a video for Leon Slater and the X Division title. If he wins tonight over Cedric Alexander in a 2 out of 3 falls match, he becomes the longest reigning X Division champion of all time. Like Liv Morgan would say. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Cedric's going to win somehow with some chicanery. So, we'll see. Alright, so Noam Dar's return. It was good, but he did not get the win. As Jackson Drake and the Vanity Project get the win. And then Dark State come out. You know, Deuces and Jokers. They stare at the Vanity Project. They don't go to the ring. But they stay in the ring before the next segment goes on. We have Miles, so called Ozzy Osbourne, the men's North American champion, comes up to his good buddy Tavion Heights, talks about a tag team match playing next week. I assume with Cam Hendricks and Mason Rook. I don't know. Tavion thinks that him and Miles will be teaming together, was actually with Tony D'Angelo. Nope. Tavion takes this as Miles thinking he's not good enough to be his partner anymore, so no, Catchpoint 3.0 reunion. Even if Miles denies like, no, I think you're great. And then Tavion just says, fuck you, I'm out of here. We got that. Alright, we got a Battle Royal to start the show. The winner becomes the new #1 contender to Mike Santana's World Heavyweight title, and we are live from Sacramento, California, in some rinky-dink theater, a lovely theater. We get that. Now the System are coming out. I didn't even know they were in this. Okay. Alright, so we got Moped, Brian Myers, Moped Bear Bronson, and Brian Myers, the tag team champs. Eddie Edwards with his hot wife, Alicia Edwards. Do you want to know something? Yeah, I want to know why you look so goddamn hot. I met her, too, 2 months ago, actually, at an indie show. She's a nice lady. I would take a bullet for her. You know, I met Eddie. Me and Eddie, we hit it off, man. I was talking to Eddie about the very first episode of Ring of Honor TV in New York City at the Grand Ballroom. It was him and Bobby Fish in a match. Davey Richards was injured, but he was still at ringside. And Kyle O'Reilly was there. And they're fighting. And Eddie's going around the ring. And fans are holding up Bobby Fish for Eddie to chop to death. They go to my area. And I'm like here. The ring is right here. I'm here. Here's the ramp. This way, going this way, because if you've been in the Grand Ballroom, you know. So I'm basically right front row, and he comes over to at my area, and I'm like, yeah, come on, do it, let's do it. And he comes over and says, hold him. So me and 3 guys are holding Bobby Fish for fucking Eddie Edwards to chop to death, and he goes, bam! I'm like, shit! And then there's the hatred for me and Bobby Fish at the time. Because Bobby remembered it. Bobby remembered it after the fact. Next time I was in the Hammerstein, they won the tag team belts from I think it was the Bucks and the American Wolves. That triple threat match at I forgot what pay-per-view that was. Not pay-per-view, I think it was event. I think it was War of the Worlds, I think. I forget, but they, yeah. So, Red Dragon won the belts that night. Eddie got destroyed through a table. And then Bobby Fish is like, he's trying to give Kyle the belt. And he's like, hey, give that handsome man his belt. I go, he's not that handsome. And then Bobby Fish somehow heard it, and he looks at me, he goes, and you are? And then he starts like he cuts a promo on me. I'm just laughing up a storm. I should have said, oh yeah, remember when you got chopped and I held you? I'll do it again! No, but we made up in 2007. It was 16 or 17 when he came to do an indie show in my area. I think it was before. I don't remember when. It was 17 or 18 or something like that. Whatever year it was, he did an indie show here in my neck of the woods, and I apologized to him for all the hate and shit. He's like, that's all right, you know. He's like, I didn't mean to hold you up when Eddie chopped the fuck out of you. He just said, you know, do it. So what am I gonna do? I'm just gonna sit there and do nothing? I had to get involved. I wanted to get involved. I'm sorry, you know. Wished him well. I think it was before he was going to AEW. I think it was when he got either released from NXT or something. I forget. It is what it is. Well, there goes that big fat guy. Who is that? I don't know who that is, but he got eliminated. Eddie Edwards is in this. The Righteous are in this. A lot of people don't even know are in this match. I think the Good Hands are in this. Black Hole Slam to somebody. And, Eric Young's in this match. Oh, it's Agent Zero and Dutch got eliminated. Interesting. By Frankie Kazarian and company. Hometown Man is in this. You know, Cody Deaner, Elijah. Mr. Elegance! He's there. He's in there. Brandon the Entertainer, BDE. Hope he gets eliminated. Let me see if I recognize anybody else. Skylar and Hotch. I think they were in this. Vincent's there. And there goes Mr. Elegance! Bye-bye. Well, not going to be Elegance at Slammiversary. If I can see anybody winning this match, it'll probably be a heel, so, I mean, I'd love to have it be Elijah, but I think it could be Dutch. No, not Dutch, I'm sorry, Kaz. Probably be Kaz. Knowing how this might go, it might be Kaz or Eddie Edwards. I mean, Eddie technically still has does he still have, he cashed in. I think he cashed in that, briefcase. And one of the great hands, I think it was John Skyler. He's not eliminated because he landed on the ring steps. Well, now Elijah just knocked him out of midair. He was drinking some of that gook that they have at ringside. And then Elijah with that big high knee, and then eliminated him, and all you see is pfft. Interesting. So we're getting down to the nitty-gritty. Hometown Man and Kaz in the corner beating each other up. Eddie Edwards is still there. The Great Hands are gone. The Good Hands, the Great Hands, good, great, whatever. Cody Deaner, you go bye-bye. Hometown Man is gone. Eddie's there. So we got Kaz and Elijah, still going at it for what happened with the guitar scrap match about a week or so ago. Eric Young is in there. Eddie Edwards by Kaz. Kaz is gone. Now it's down to basically Mophead and Eddie Edwards against Eric Young and Elijah. And Kaz trying to get Elijah out. There goes the system. They're gone. So now it's down to Elijah and Eric Young to see who becomes the number one contender. And now Kaz is going berserk against, Kaz and the system are arguing. Eric Young tried to throw Elijah out. Elijah skins the cat. He tries to get EY out, and EY has to skin the cat. Now they're fighting on the apron. So somebody's going to win this match right about now. I'm hoping it's Elijah, but if they need a heel, I would assume EY is going to win, and he's going to mention the cleanse and all that shit. Mr. Clean's going to come out. Who knows? Mr. Clean gets rid of dirt, gets rid around and cleans a minute. We got that. Big boot by Elijah. Oh! EY, because as Elijah was trying to grab Eric Young, he grabbed his bald head, and EY with a mule kick to the balls, and Elijah fell off the apron and got eliminated. So your new #1 contender to the world title is Eric Young. Okay. I mean, if they're gonna do that match if they do that match at Slammiversary, that's dumb. I don't like that at all. We're gonna hear from Mike Santana later, but I mean, why? I mean, I know you need a heel. I get it. But, congrats to EY. And we'll see what Mike Santana has to say later. And now the lovely Gia Miller is here with Leon Slater, the X Division champion, getting ready for his big match. 2 out of 3 falls match with Mr. Cedric Alexander. That's going to be a banger tonight. I still think Cedric might win that, but, I mean, we'll see what happens with that. Alright, anyway. Alright, back to NXT. So, Dark State is in the ring, but then we hear from Miles and Tavion. And Miles says that, Tavion thinks that they're going to team up next week. No, it's going to be Miles and Tony D teaming up. And Tavion's like, oh, what? I'm not good to be your partner anymore? Miles' like, no, I don't mean that. Tavion's like, well, fuck you, Miles. I'm out of here. And that's pretty much it. So then we go back to the ring. Darkstate's still in the ring. And the Vanity Project are still in the aisleway with Micah Lockwood. They want a tag team title shot. They get shot down. Brad Baylor brags about taking the titles from Dark State in the first place, like about a month ago. But that's fine with Dark State. And Cutler James, because they've already gotten the match made anyway. But it's not going to be Cutler James or Osiris Griffin. It's going to be Saquon Sugars and Dion Lennox. Can they coexist to get the tag team titles back? And then the Vanity Project, they run in for a little brawl, and then they get destroyed. And that's pretty much it. Wait, moving on. Alright, we got the Broken Hardys, yes! Broken Matt Hardy, beauty, wonderful, yes! Delete! And Brother Nero! I knew you'd come! Alright, gonna see, we got them. Xia Li is here, the new TNA Knockouts champion. I'm gonna hear from her. Probably see Xia Brookside come out, maybe. I think they're gonna have the match to kind of maybe sort of finish this little feud they have. Because we didn't see Xia Brookside last week. She got banned from the ring when Xia Li won the title from Ariana Grace. So now, Xia Li won the title thanks to a little bit of pep talk from Tommy Dreamer. Of all people, Tommy Dreamer. Tommy! You could have picked anybody to be your partner! But you picked Cheek Lawrence! You idiot! Okay, calm down, Terry. Calm down. We know. I was a hardcore legend in Japan. Japan! #1! Forever! Bad ever! Okay, calm down, Terry. Calm down. You have your Metamucil. Thank you. Moving on. Alright, so we got that. So Dark State get a tag team title shot next week against the Vanity Project. So we'll see if Saquon and Dion can come to their senses, and fight for the right cause, and get back those tag team titles. We'll see what happens with that. And we move on. Alright, after that, if I can get my notes to load. Okay. Alright, then, we go to the back. Where was I? Yeah. Alright, so Robbie E. Lee's Mason Rook, we get a tag team match, next week. Tate Wilder wants a match next week. Oh boy, but he gets a match next week, and it's gonna be his funeral, because he's taking on Keanu Carver. Wow. Let me get that. Alright, so then we see Lola Vice says, so I'm going to watch the match and everything. Kendall Gray and Maddie pop up. They have a stare down with Kaylani. And Kendall Gray beat Kaylee Armstrong, who was actually in this segment as well, to win the Evolve Women's Championship, and held it for a very long time until she basically dropped it. She just did an Oba. Said, I don't want the belt no more. And that's pretty much it. Alright, then we get to the main event of the evening. Kendall Gray taking on Kaylani Jordan. Maddie Winkowski at ringside. Just standing there on her crutches, sadly. Hurt her ankle, her foot. And we got all that. Alright, this was a pretty good match for under 13 minutes. Izzy Dame comes out. Actually, we see a picture-in-picture with Lola watching from the locker, from the back. But then we see Izzy Dame attack her, throws her into the metal gate, going towards the parking lot. And then, while that was going on, Kaylani catches Kendall up top with a super Spanish fly. And then Lola Vice and Izzy fight all the way to ringside. Maddie gets knocked down. And Kendall's worried for her friend, and that distraction led to, it worked for Kaylani as she knocks Kendall off the ropes, goes up top, hits one of a kind! 1, 2, 3. Kaylani Jordan gets the win in 13 minutes. And, that's pretty much it. Kaylani could go back for the world title. We'll see what happens with that. But that was a good match, though. Actually, a good match. And and then after the match, Kendall and Lola argue, but then Izzy Dame takes Lola out again, and then holds up the NXT Women's Championship. So, we'll see what happens with that next week on the program. But lots of things going on now in the new look NXT with the rookies from MFG and Evolve and the WWE ID program. And some of the UK stars coming in as well. I like it. Let me move on. Alright, Mustafa Ali's on now. With Gia Miller and the rest of Order 4. He's talking about his Intercontinental title. I don't know if he has another open challenge tonight. Mustafa Ali's talking about magic lamps. Okay, Aladdin! Aladdin! Jafar! Okay. I'm not gonna go through the whole movie, but... yeah, basically talking about Aladdin. I rubbed the genie and I got my title. All the peanut butter sandwiches. So next week, the open challenge continues. And, they're going to get back to their winning ways. And then Gia was talking to, Jason Hotch. She says, good job. And now EY comes in, goes right up to the camera. Talks about Joe Hendry gone. Ricky, Sosa, bang, bang. Sosa, he gone. And then basically telling Mike Santana, you're next, and you're looking at the new World Heavyweight Champion. I doubt that. That's it. Alright, the beautiful Xia Li is here. I said some bad things about Xia Li, but goddamn, she looks beautiful. Without her, Kung Lao thing. It looks like she's still in Tianxia. But man, she got a body from hell. Holy crap. They give me a stiffy. But I digress on that. Alright, we're going to hear from the new champ tonight. See what's going to happen. I think Xia Brookside will come out, challenge Xia Li for the belt at Slammiversary. And we'll see what happens with that. Alright, NXT is over. My review is over, guys. Thanks for watching. I give NXT standard 7 out of 10 stars. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Like Willie would say, let's talk about it. And that's that. Alright, I'm out of here, guys. Thanks for watching. I will be back pretty much after this little shindig with your AEW review from last night. Pretty good show. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about TNA Ring of Honor tomorrow. And that's pretty much it. There was a special Ring of Honor on Tuesday. Check that video out. I did that last night. So, on my Killer Demons channel. So, check out all my videos on my respective channels. And that's all you gotta do. Hit the bell. Leave a comment if you wish. Don't leave stupid comments. You get blocked. And that's it. Alright, guys. I'm out of here. I'm gonna have my sensible din-din pretty soon. And then watch the rest of this great show called Impact. That's that. Thanks for watching, everybody. Until next time, I'm Peter Joseph signing off. Peace, motherfuckers.